gentlemen.
Conor McGregor, life, career, and fortune of the Irish fighter, the Notorious. This is the nickname that over the years became associated with one of the most remarkable fighters in the history of MMA. In this article, I will delve into the life and career of Conor McGregor, a highly controversial fighter, as well as discuss his fortune. Among the key accomplishments of the Irish fighter's career was becoming the first UFC Ultimate Fighting Championship fighter in history to hold two titles simultaneously in different weight classes, featherweight and lightweight. This elevated him to the level of stardom and undoubtedly made him the most successful athlete to come out of Ireland. Did you know, for example, that the fighter has been involved in controversies related to sexual harassment and racism, but in contrast, managed to make UFC history by knocking out Brazilian fighter José Aldo in just 12 seconds? Or that he specializes in boxing, taekwondo, karate, and Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and that Conor McGregor's fortune is estimated at almost 1 billion Brazilian reals. Stay with me in this article as I provide more insights into the life and career of McGregor, the most notable Irish fighter of all time, and reveal the extent of his wealth. Check it out. Conor McGregor, life and career. The boy who grew up in the suburb of Crumlin in Dublin did not have an easy childhood. Born on July 14, 1988, he even worked as a plumber with his father Tony McGregor when he was 18. He was still living in Dublin, unsure of which direction to take in life and in his career. Interestingly, Conor McGregor was not immediately interested in fighting. His biggest passion was actually soccer, which he still follows today, especially the games of Manchester United, a club in the English Premier League. Whiskey and pubs. Fortune only increases interestingly. In addition to being a notable athlete, the fighter also ventures into the business world as an entrepreneur, as he is a partner in a whiskey brand. Proper No 12 was sold for around $600 million, about 3.2 billion Brazilian reals, according to information released by Shanken News Daily in April 2021. And despite all the revenue and the fortune counted, McGregor is selling a yacht that is anchored in Dublin Bay to match the money in the purchase of the iconic O'Neill's pub, located in Dunleary, a small town in County Dublin. According to the Currency newspaper, negotiations are already advanced. But McGregor will not debut in the Irish pubs industry, as he has a pub in his hometown, the Black Forge, in Crumlin. He also owns a pub in Dublin where he was caught punching a customer in 2019, the Marble Arch. To make the story even better, in addition to buying the pub, he decided to ban the man he punched from the establishment, who can no longer frequent the place. Conor McGregor's controversial style. We've already talked about the fighter's career and fortune, but throughout his life, Conor McGregor has presented a considerably controversial personality in the face of great media exposure. Trash talk is one of the strategies used by the fighter to destabilize his opponents. The 33-year-old fighter's personality is so sharp that the official UFC website has already featured an article titled, "Love Him or Hate Him," referring to the Octagon star. Main controversies. 2015. One of the first controversies in McGregor's career happened on January 18, 2015. During UFC Fight Night, McGregor vs. Siver, the Irishman defeated the German and provoked José Aldo. The Brazilian was watching the fight and saw the winner approaching him to confront him. 2016. The following year, a photo of Conor McGregor posing with a gun caught attention on Instagram. Wearing a ninja mask, he had the object pointed out of the car window, and the scene would repeat itself later that year. In August 2016, Conor McGregor participated in the press conference that preceded UFC 202. Because of McGregor's delay, the event ended up with Nate Diaz, his opponent, throwing cans and bottles, as he was angry. Of course, McGregor would retaliate in the same way. 3 months later, in November, before UFC 205, where McGregor faced Eddie Alvarez, the Irishman simply stole the American's belt. The Notorious had already acted in the same way with José Aldo in 2015. 2017, a year after the Eddie Alvarez incident, the Bellator organization had scheduled some fights in Ireland, and the Irish fighter went there to show support. After Charlie Ward's victory on one of the night's cards, Conor invaded the octagon to celebrate. However, the athlete's attitude displeased referee Mark Goddard, who was pushed and insulted. 2018. A few months later, in April 2018, another controversial episode would mark Conor McGregor's career, and this time, he was accompanied by 10 other people. On that occasion, McGregor invaded the press conference that preceded UFC 223 and attacked the UFC bus, which had a broken window. Khabib Nurmagomedov, who would fight in the event's main fight, was on the bus attacked by the Irishman. In fact, the action resulted in Michael Chiesa and Ray Borg being unable to fight, as they were injured by the debris. Detained after being considered a fugitive by the New York police, Conor McGregor was involved in another police episode. 2019, perhaps the most unexpected controversy Conor McGregor was involved in was being arrested for breaking a fan's phone. The incident is recent, happening in 2019, in Miami. The athlete was leaving a nightclub when he was approached by the fan for a photo. However, the fact displeased the Irishman, who reacted aggressively. Local cameras recorded the incident. To get out of jail, he had to pay a $12,500 bond. The following month, a new controversy, this time in a bar in Ireland. By offering a shot of his whiskey to everyone present, an elderly man reportedly refused to accept the drink. This caused McGregor to become angry, and he allegedly punched the man. 2020 racism and sexual harassment are also among the controversies of the Notorious. By using a phrase that referred to how whites addressed enslaved blacks in the U.S., such as, "Dance for me, boy," the Irishman was accused of racism before the fight against Floyd Mayweather Jr. McGregor also made a mention of Khabib Nurmagomedov's religion. The Russian, who is Muslim, was the target of irony and religious intolerance by Conor. Finally, allegations of sexual harassment and assault in Ireland and France led Conor McGregor to give explanations to the police. At the age of 12, he took his first steps in boxing. However, there was a huge gap between practicing the sport to learn self-defense and pursuing a professional career in it, and he did not have his father's support to survive as a fighter. His father's decision was primarily due to the fear that his son would be professionally frustrated. McGregor and MMA in the octagon. Conor McGregor was slowly developing in MMA, mixed martial arts. His debut in the sport happened in 2007. Promoted to Dublin's most important MMA championship, the Irish Cage of Truth, this was undoubtedly an important step for him to direct his career towards success. He defeated Kieran Campbell in an amateur fight, all before he conquered his fortune. And so, in 2013, the mixed martial artist became a part of the Ultimate. Upon receiving an invitation from Dana White, president of the UFC, McGregor turned professional and began to stand out as an athlete. Conor McGregor's UFC debut. On April 6, 2013, Conor McGregor made his debut in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. At the UFC on Fuel TV, Mousasi vs. Latifi event, the Irishman knocked out his opponent Marcus Brimage before the 2-minute mark of the first round, thus beginning his victorious trajectory in the company. The peak of McGregor's career in the UFC was undoubtedly when the fighter became the first to simultaneously hold 2 belts in different weight classes. To achieve this, he defeated opponents José Aldo at UFC 194 and Eddie Alvarez at UFC 205. Conor McGregor x José Aldo, and it was precisely to Conor McGregor that Brazilian fighter José Aldo lost his undefeated record. A curious fact about the fight is that it ended in just 12 seconds. That's right, UFC 194 took place on December 12 in Las Vegas. On that occasion, the Irishman's left hook was delivered to the Brazilian's chin, ending the fight in the next instant. Conor McGregor vs. Floyd Mayweather, the Irishman's first bout in boxing. In his first professional boxing match, Conor McGregor faced the now-retired Floyd Mayweather, considered one of the greatest boxers in history. Despite putting up a fight, the Irishman did not overcome the American, who won by knockout in the penultimate round. The middleweight bout took place on August 26. Conor McGregor's fortune. Conor McGregor is, above all, one of the richest athletes in the world. Just to give you an idea, in 2021 alone, the star earned $180 million. Today, it is estimated that Conor McGregor's fortune is worth almost $1 billion. More precisely, $948,961,678. Last year, Forbes magazine showed, through an article, that McGregor received more than renowned players in the world football scene such as Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Neymar, than basketball player LeBron James, tennis player Roger Federer, and Formula One driver Lewis Hamilton.